We've reached the end of the week. It's that Friday. And with that being said, welcome back for another brand new episode of the Beyond Expedition podcast with the two most favorite co-hosts in the entire world. I don't even got to get the intro, but I'm going to anyways, regardless. I'm Eduardo and my boy here with me in the virtual studio, Brett, aka the White Rhino. I think we are having. Oh, there he is. He got me. This is one thing about Brett. If people don't know, I mean, people probably don't know him, aside from me very well. He likes to fuck with me a lot and troll me. And there's times where I think he's serious, but he's really not. And it can be the most dire, serious situations. And he'll get me thinking. I don't know if he's joking. I don't know if he's being serious. And I'm pretty gullible like that. So that could be partially my fault. But
that's what makes it fun.
He likes to fool around. Yeah, definitely. But brother, before we embark on this journey, as always, I'd like to ask you, how are you doing today, brother, on this lovely Friday that we're recording this? How are you doing today, man? Good, sir.
Oh, dude, I'm ready to get turned. It's gonna be a good episode for the people.
Oh, dude,
I'm ready.
I like the rag over you. I mean, is there? Can you explain the ensemble for people that are listening to the audio only? You should check out the video because you can feel the whole esque vibe to this whole episode when we record these. Explain your ensemble today. I mean, you're wearing the blood red jacket with a bandana over your head. What was the motivation behind that?
Well, there's three things going on today.
Okay.
Basically, we got Suge Knight, of course, the god.
Okay. For sure.
And then Macho Man Randy Savage.
Dude, R.I.P. Yeah.
Bandana. And then and with the glasses, right? He wore those types of glasses. And then, but also with the bandana, I also looked like a housemaid. So it's just like I'm trying to stay humble, you can be on everybody's TVs screens. You can be on everybody's records, your name is on all the greats or whatever. But man, at heart, I'm just a maid cleaning all the shit at home. Just so I'm just humble through it all, even though I'm like all up in your business,
So you're like Mr. Clean, but with the hair.
Yeah, I mean, but I'll still hold you over the balcony and make you sign some points over if I need to.
Oh, dude, you get thuggish, ruggish with it too, regardless, no matter what they say, dude.
You think people would get offended though if I say refer to Suge Knight as the god?
I don't know. I mean, in '96, he surely was looked at that. I mean, he was running the most, I would say, ruthless. I mean, no pun intended, ruthless records, but like the most, what is it? Notorious Death Row Records of '96. I mean, it was just, I mean, they feared him. They feared him a lot. He had a lot of respect back in those days. So, I mean, I think it goes hand in hand.
I want to be a god that nobody fears, though. I want to be the cool god. Like, yeah, dude.
That reminds me of the scene in Blade, phenomenal movie with Wesley Snipes, where at the end, remember where they're doing like the sacrificial scene, and he's like, "I want to be a naughty god." And they're laughing. It reminded me of that scene when you said that. I want to be a cool god. I was like, all right. I mean,
yeah. Hey, and just so everybody knows, today, this episode, I just plan on just getting smashed and just talking. I have no agenda. I don't have to bash any politicians. Like, this is just going to be an episode where, like, you can play this at my funeral, basically.
Jesus. Oh, man. I mean, yeah, it's this is what it's really about, though, potting. We have fun here. I mean, this is like, I always tell Brett, right? This is almost as similar to if just two guys go down to a bar, have a drink on a Friday, just have some laughs and just
go home together.
Go. Yeah. Or that. I mean, if you're up for that. But I mean, it's all about having fun. And that's what we obviously started this podcast at the very beginning, is just to have a good time, come here and talk about the most randomest topics that happen throughout the week. And well, right off rip, actually, one of the things that I do want to bring up, and this is in regards to our past previous episode, Balloon Go Boom, go check that out. Episode 120 out now, wherever you stream your podcast. So they finally figured out that this this balloon that was hovering over Montana actually was collecting communications data in regards to what was going on around that
I'm listening to
you. No. You said it good. I fucked up. I'll take that. Yeah. So, yeah, man. So they found out it was communication data that, like, the Chinese were spying on us, and they were pretty much gathering data for God knows for whatever reasons they're going to use it for. But they also said that they also shot down another one that was over Alaska, close to the Canadian border. Have you heard about that?
I heard it, but me, I'm not Team Biden by any means. And I felt like, because he got so much flack for letting this first balloon go all the way across the nation. I
Yes,
think
sir.
he got with the Pentagon. He's like, hey, can you throw something else up there of our own and then just shoot it down like at the very beginning?
Just so
And
we
they're
can set
like,
the premises that I'm acting upon action to make sure
yeah,
there's not going to be any national threat to our security. How about
yeah.
and he slides like $100 crisp dollar bill, like, hey, go fly that balloon over and then shoot
Yeah,
it
he
down.
just sticks it in his pocket, in General Millie's pocket.
Let's go
You
like
know, he's like, yo, I got you, fam.
F-16s, make it look legit,
Just
all
threw
right?
some Ford Fiesta over on a balloon over Alaska.
Just hover.
They won't know the difference.
Oh man, but I mean, is it kind of coincidental though? Like all of a sudden now he wants to act upon it. It's just like, come on, man.
Oh,
Where was that energy when you first saw this thing and they were like, hey, there's something over here in Montana just floating around us. We don't know what it
go,
is,
go
and
shoot it down.
yeah, we need a couple days to actually come up with the plan. I'm like, dude, send those F-16s that we're splitting billions of dollars of go shoot it down. Like there shouldn't be anything like that unless it's somebody that maybe they just let a balloon go or something like that. But still, like, it should be, proceed with caution type situation. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know. That's just me. That's just my opinion. What do I know? But I mean, yeah, that's just
Yeah.
kind of how I feel
Hey,
like should have gone down.
balloon go boom.
It did for sure. So yeah, I mean, they gathered all the stuff. Obviously, it landed in the ocean, and they said they gathered a bunch of it, and it was, I mean, like I said, they were collecting data,
Well,
communications
basically,
wise. So I
yeah,
mean,
all I
yeah.
heard about that they were able to collect was like the types of antenna
Okay, okay.
that were on it. So they were collecting like communication, Wi-Fi, whatever, all that kind of stuff. And so, it looked like they were interested in that, but I don't know if we're really going to know what type of information that they got
Hmm.
if we don't get the computer of it. And, it's sinking at the bottom of the ocean. And not to go, right off of the last episode, but my whole conspiracy was that Biden has a whole lot to hide.
Yeah, man.
And so I'd be
There's
even surprised if we find the black box of
Oh,
whatever
dude.
this data that they're saying is there. Like, oh, we found the antennas, but that's about it. you know.
That's it.
But
Oh man, I know. But what's crazy too, right? Isn't it kind of coincidental? We started having internet issues. The episode of.
dude, I'm telling
Ooh.
you, dude,
Oh
the
man, they are
the the
definitely spying on
alphabet
us.
the alphabet agencies are certainly viewers. They are certainly viewers, you know?
It was
Yeah,
funny in
they're
regards to when we
fans.
talked about our analytics. We were talking about how like there was a state like you were kind of like, oh, see, there we go. There, listen to
Yeah,
us. This the
yep.
FBI. I forgot what
Oh,
it was. What
yeah.
state it was.
It was over on the East Coast. I think it
Yeah,
was like Virginia or something like that. And I'm
yeah.
like, isn't that where like the database is? Don't they use VPN? I do.
Oh man, like we need to
You
keep
know?
track on the what we call the BN Expedition podcast. They are getting a
Right.
little too wild out there. Over.
Yo, I got these fools tracked, man. I throw on my VPN and they think I'm in Germany every damn time.
Throwing off the set. Oh man, dude. So actually, one thing I do want to bring up now, we're gonna dive into a topic that I have on hand. Actually, I didn't come all the way prepared, but that's just how we are. We're professionals at the end of the day. But I do have one topic in regards to something that I feel like you might enjoy, and I brought
Oh,
it up vaguely off air. I brought it up to you and just kind of like gave you the headline of the topic, and you
yeah.
might get a kick out of this. All right. So
I
in regards to just like I said, what you've talked about in the past, and we'll get into this, and people will get a pretty good clue what it is. Human brain cells grow in rats and feel what the rats feel. Human brain organoids wired themselves into rats' nervous systems, influencing the animal's sensations and behaviors. Scientists have successfully transplanted clusters of human neurons into the brains of newborn rats in striking feat of biological engineering that may provide more realistic models for neurological conditions such as autism and serve as a way to restore injured brains. In a study published on Wednesday, researchers from Stanford reported that the clumps of human cells known as organoids grew into millions of new neurons and wired themselves into their new nervous systems. Once the organoids had plugged into the brains of the rats, the animals could receive sensory signals from their whiskers and help generate command signals to guide their movements. Dr. Sergei Paska, the neuroscientist who led the research, said that he and his colleagues were now using the transplanted neurons to learn about the biology underlying autism, schizophrenia, and other developmental disorders. If you really want to tackle the biology of these conditions, we're going to need more complex models of human brain Dr. Pasca said in 2009, after training in medicine in Romania, Dr. Pasca joined Stanford as a postdoctoral researcher to learn how to create human neurons in a dish. He and his colleagues took skin cells from volunteers and bathed them in chemicals that caused them to change character. Now they were more like embryo cells, which can become any tissue in the body. So Brett,
Damn.
so we're loading up these rats with I believe human brains, or they have like
Mm.
human like brains inside them. They'll, I mean, like the article said, they'll be able to send directional signals through their whiskers, which is pretty wild. This reminds me of Master Splinter in a sense, with just without the minus the green goo, but it's like
Yeah.
Master Splinter written all over it. But I mean, I want to hear your take on, man. I mean, I mean, this is good, right? I mean, for they
Well,
were saying for autism, schizophrenia, and other developmental disorders. Cool,
yeah,
but
that's what
man,
they
I mean,
say.
that's
But
what they say.
listen,
All right, let's
for
hear it.
like a year straight, I've been trying to catch every damn rat that's been in my
That's what I
house.
was referring to.
And
That's what I was
and,
referring to. Tell the story.
right. And then but well, and then you send me this meme. I'll go back. I'll retract, but then you send me this meme, and Scott sent it to me too.
Yeah,
Props to Scott.
shout out Scott.
But maybe he sent it. I don't know. I'm getting buzzed. But one of you or both of you sent. I know for sure you sent
Okay.
me an Instagram, whatever, of a little rat, right? Chasing, holding a knife in his hand, and there was a little cat on the side, you
Oh
know?
fuck,
And I'm
dude.
like, dude, so I gotta stay strapped at all times now. If
Oh.
these scientists are messing with these rats, and now these rats are gonna start taking up arms, I gotta be prepared every damn time now. You know what I mean? And dude, I'm not gonna let a rat kill me, you know?
Oh man, when you least expect it, Brett, you could just probably just almost put yourself in a situation where you're going to go to sleep, and now you had a hard day at work that day, and you close your eyes and you see a
Yeah.
rat just pointing a freaking shank straight at your face. You never know. You never
Dude,
know.
I've been practicing my quick one, you know? It's like when I'm going into a sketchy neighborhood that looks like there might be a lot of meth.
Yeah.
I'm always like, okay, I just keep my, like when I don't have my heater on me, I have my heater on me a lot, but when I don't, you know, I got the butter spreader. So
Oh, the butter spreader. I've never heard that one. That's a new one. That's a new one. I'm a fan of these one-liners. Believe it or not, people. Why I tend to laugh a lot. I hear these one-liners and I find them amusing. That's why I laugh. I mean, I'm weird. I know. Trust me. Everybody has their weird little things, but that's just mine.
you're my number one fan.
Oh, dude, always. I always tell you, man. You have like I should start making a book or a scrapbook of all the little one-liners you said since we first started hanging out. I swear I'll be up to 10 chapters in that motherfucker because you always say just like I've never heard that one before. I might just be just one of those people that just don't go out much, maybe, or just a loner, and I just don't have interaction with humans to just fucking even know. But
Yeah.
hey, this is me.
Well, we grew up in similar circumstances, both like in our little single wide trailers. Yours
Oh,
a little
dude,
bit
I know.
smaller, but with a little bit more people in it.
Hey, not a shame, man. I came from the trenches, dude, or more like the woods or the mountains, whatever you want to say.
Hey, can you go get me some apples?
What do you want? Granny Smiths, the green ones, all that. I mean, I used to know all the names, like, or some of the names, but not anymore. I just know like the red ones, the green ones, or the pears. That's it.
Yeah, baby.
That information just left me. But
Yeah,
yeah,
I
man. I
was
mean,
just-
but back to the original topic. Obviously,
Yes.
it's we've come across already a point of our time where we're advancing so fucking fast. I feel like where
Too
it's
fast.
it's just I think it's too fast, honestly, because I swear
Uh-huh.
every other week it's something new that happens. Like also, I don't have too much information on this, but I'll just throw this in here in this this little segment. Well, we like to call it the what the fuck, but
Yeah.
it's pretty much. So, did you know that for 13 years they've already been working on something that can reverse one from getting old?
That is, I think
Have you
I
heard about that?
something like that. I
Yeah.
think, but yeah, that's wild, dude.
So they're repairing the broken cells in a human body that over time, as one gets old, the cells start to kind of disintegrate. They're not connected anymore. And what they're doing, actually, what they've come up with, they're actually able to kind of pretty much recreate them and have them kind of like, I guess, have them interlink once more again and not have them like disintegrate over time to where you won't even get
Degrade.
old. Like it's crazy. So they're
So does-
literally reverse engineering from anybody getting old now. So you'll be able to prolong your life and live up to 100 plus. Now I think what we're going to see is, obviously, I think this is not going to come as, it's going to come at a cost. I think, there's definitely always what is it, a con to this when something like this is revealed, but it's going to be for the people that are going to be able to afford it. I don't think this is going to be a thing where anybody will be able to obtain it.
Yeah,
So
they're not
you
gonna
only
let everybody live forever.
Oh, dude, me and you living past 200, bro. There's no way. Like, these guys have been podcasting for 50 years plus. Yeah,
Yeah,
there's no way we're
right.
gonna let them go more. But see,
Done.
but it's wild though, right? Like, they
Well,
for 13 years, bro. They've been working
so
on this.
what I'm wondering though, does that mean that these old politicians are going to stop kidnapping little kids and using their blood for adrenochrome or whatever it's called? You
I
know,
don't
that
know. I don't
whole
know. Is that a conspiracy? Like, I heard of that
that's a
before.
conspiracy.
Is
Yeah,
a
they're saying that
conspiracy?
these
Okay.
old elites, like maybe the Rothschilds and all them,
Mm-hmm.
that they kidnap all these little kids and like all these missing kids go missing, and then they drain their blood. They kill these kids, right? They're like human sacrifices. Then they take their blood and they drink it, and then they get out of it. They get adrenochrome or adrenochrome or something like that, and
Mm.
like it gives them energy. It gives them that youthful vibrance. And so I'm thinking, well, cool. If the scientists can work with you a little bit, maybe you don't have to kill our kids. That
Oh,
would be dope.
yeah, that's not good at
Yikes.
all. That is not good at all. Huh. I've heard
Dicey.
about that before. Yeah, that is pretty dicey. I've heard of the whole, yeah, they, for their to keep their youth or just to stay young, but I never knew of like the full intent behind it, or just the whole, I guess, in detail of what it really came from or what it was used for, all that, like them stealing kids and all that, whatever. It's like, damn, that's crazy. I just, I've heard it once here and there vaguely, but that was it. Wild, huh?
Yeah.
I learn something
Yeah,
new every day.
it's a pretty sweet little rabbit hole that you can go down to if you're into
Sweet
it.
little rebel, yeah, man, definitely, definitely, bro. No, but it's wild. So yeah, human brains inside of rats for, I guess, curing, or, I guess, with these, what they were saying, schizophrenia, autism, and I don't know which other one right off the bat. I lost my page actually. So yeah.
I mean, okay, so if they are actually telling the truth, which I think since 2020 I haven't trusted one scientist with anything they've said. Um, something about mandation and something about we have two strikes on our channel,
Oh
so
yeah.
we can't talk about it
Oh
anymore.
yeah,
But
definitely.
there's a
We're
reason
on.
why I don't trust scientists anymore. But if they actually had some genuine, like if they were really attacking autism and all these things, that would be super dope. Like because like imagine that being a parent, you have your child who was born, and you love your child so much, and then all of a sudden there's something you can do about this, and that would change lives all over the world. That would change
Oh,
lives
dude, major,
overnight.
major.
That would be amazing. So if they're genuine, I'll give them their props.
Definitely. It's yeah. No, I think I'm all for it. Again, for the right purposes, or for the right cause, if for just doing the correct thing, I'm all for it. But for anything else besides that, of course, you always think about the not so good stuff they could use this for. I don't know about that, man. It's crazy. It's
Yeah.
crazy. And
Yeah.
we paused.
No, we didn't.
No, we didn't pause. Oh,
No,
oh, shit, I thought you
we went to a
froze.
commercial break. It was the quickest commercial you guys ever saw in your life. Went by so quick, but please support our sponsors.
And a word from our sponsors. Oh, dude. I know, man. I know. You know what? That's crazy, right? Like, I actually was thinking about that, right? In regards to just sponsorships in general. It's like, isn't it crazy how far we've come already, to a point where like there's a sponsor for like every little thing, especially when you listen to podcasts or just in videos in general. It's like that's going to be the only way for these networks to really survive off sponsorships, because it's like what is it, cable TV, it's pretty much done. All that, like, it's all about streaming now, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So now it's like the new wave is to really go after these people like yours truly, to put their advertisements out there, and to just have it be played consistently over throughout the episodes that one releases. But
Yeah.
the game has shifted so much to where never would I thought would I would see the day where, like, we don't got to go to channel 10 or channel 20, whatever, to like really see all these shows. It's all much on demand. I get to see it whenever I want, wherever I want, and on a phone, tablet, TV, you name it. So
Yeah.
much of a variety, brother. So much of a variety. I don't know. I just
Well,
thought it was mind blowing.
and the thing with sponsors, it's like a love-hate relationship, right? we love sponsors because they pay us, right? But a lot of people, like, when you're watching YouTube and you're hit with those three commercials or whatever, those three ads, and you're just like, you're watching the 4 seconds that they force you to watch, and then you're hitting skip ad. um it's frustrating, but but they have to do it, right? Because people want to get their stuff out there. Like,
Yes.
if we had a product and we wanted to, pay for advertising, that's a tough thing, because that, okay, these people are only going to watch 4 seconds, so you have to make something so interesting for people to watch in that 4 seconds that they'll watch for another 26 seconds. You know what I mean? And that's hard, because, like, I think there was only one commercial that I watched in its entirety, and it was something about, like, it was like a commercial for, like, a blue pill, and it was something about, like,
Oh, was let me take a guess. Blue Chew?
no, a blue
No.
pill, like, oh, do you feel like you don't last as long as you used to? And I was
Oh,
just
it's
like,
Blue Chew.
you
That's
know,
what it
and
is.
then I was like, wait, maybe I should watch this one. And then after that, I'm like, yeah, let's call this
You were
number
doing
real
something. You're like,
quick.
you put it down. You're like looking. You're like,
How did they
like,
know? How did they know?
oh my
but
god,
but
I know what
most
you're saying.
commercials, man.
So something I actually did want to bring up in regards to the rats with the brains. You sent me an actual funny article. I think it was an article. I'm not sure, but the title of it was a study showed that sober rats prefer silence, but rats on cocaine prefer jazz music.
Dude.
Oh my god, I wouldn't want to be one of those type of scientists, dude. I'm like, let's bring a little bit of coke on these rats and see what happens. Let's just kick back and see what happens. Just kind of
Man, you want to be one
bullshit
of those
around.
scientists. I want to be one of those rats, bro. Yo, turn up the BB King.
So that was like was that like a okay, I don't know if that article was like one of those ones that troll people, but like was that a legitimate experiment they did or what?
It was on the internet, bro. I don't know.
I thought
It
you knew
looked
like
like
I thought you sent it to me like, oh shit, this guy got
it,
schooled up on it. He
it
probably
seems
knows
like
about
one of
this.
those articles that I would have probably found on Lad Bible, something like that. So maybe it was there. I don't know, man, but Google it.
Okay, I'm gonna Google it right now just because it's interesting. That's the only reason
Yeah.
why it really caught my attention. Okay,
Okay, well, you're looking
so
that up. I'll
okay.
tell everybody a story about when I was a kid in the no. Okay. No, I do have a story.
All
Do
right, let's hear it.
you,
I'll pause it.
well, no. Oh, do you have it already?
Well, it says right here, right?
Okay.
So music induced context preference following cocaine conditioning in rats. Traditional models of drug seeking behavior have shown the exposure to associated environmental cues can trigger relapse. These learned associations take place during repeated drug administration, resulting in conditioned reinforcement. Although considerable investigation has occurred regarding simple conditioned stimuli, less is known to complex environmental cues, particularly those that may be salient in human addiction. Recent studies indicate that music can serve as a contextual conditioned stimulus in rats and influence drug-seeking behavior during abstinence. The purpose of the present study was to further assess the effectiveness of music as a conditioned stimulus in rats, to determine rats' preferences for two contrasting pieces of music, and to determine rats' preferences for music versus silence. To this end, we created an apparatus that gave instrumental control of musical choice, Miles Davis versus Beethoven, to the rats themselves. After determining baseline musical preference, animals were conditioned with cocaine to the music they initially preferred least, with alternating conditioning sessions pairing saline with the music preferred most. The animals was substantially tested in a drug-free state to determine what effect this conditioning had on musical preference. The results indicate that the music serves as an effective contextual conditioned stimulus, significantly increasing both musical preference and locomotor activity after repeated cocaine conditioning. Furthermore, we found that rats initially favor silence over music, but that this preference can be altered as a result of cocaine paired conditioning. These findings demonstrate that after repeated association with reward cocaine, music can engender a conditioned context preference in rats. These findings are consistent with other evidence showing that musical contextual cues can reinstate drug-seeking behavior in rats.
That's hot.
They
That's
fucking love
hot.
cocaine, dude.
Yeah.
It's like,
I'm like, so like basically that was the whole point of the the chess, like the bunch of scientists that just got super whacked out on coke, and then they're like, hey, what do you think this will do to the rodents? I don't know, bro. You should try
He'll start
it.
stringing fucking lies. Oh,
Like,
instead of finding the cheese in the maze, like find the fucking coke in the.
Harold, Harold, what kind of music do you like to listen to when you're junked out on coke? Well, I prefer jazz. I happen to love the sound of a trumpet. Yeah. Me too, Harold.
Oh, my fucking stomach, dude.
These
Oh, I
scientists,
love
man.
it.
I
I
love
love science.
it.
I fucking love science, man. I wish I would have paid more attention to it in high school. I fucking regret not doing it because I could have been one of
No,
those scientists, bro.
this wasn't the science they were teaching in high school, bro.
We were
You had
way
to,
off the fucking zone on that, man.
you
Damn
had to
it.
go to your friend's uncle's house who had a lab in the back to learn
Oh
this science.
fuck, that was a good. That was a...
Oh,
But yes,
man.
more of the story. Rats prefer jazz music, or they prefer silencing jazz music while on coke.
Yeah.
Right? Is that how it was?
Yeah.
But your
So,
story
so
about when you were a kid, as you were saying though, you said you had an
yeah,
interesting story.
well, it's a single wide trailer story.
Okay,
So
let's hear it. Go for it.
we had moved out to like Montana, way out in the woods. We were like 13 miles out of town, and it's long, dusty dirt road to get you to the single wide pad,
Mhm.
and so wildlife everywhere. Well, anyway, so we had a Manx cat. Manx is like pretty big cat, like basically the pit bull of cats.
Are they the bald
Just
ones?
no, they're not bald.
Oh, okay,
No.
okay, okay. That's the
But they
Sphinx
like
cat,
have
right?
like a stub tail, and they're just like,
Okay,
just like Brutus of a cat.
okay.
And so anyway, so he was pretty good at catching mice or whatever. But dude, you know how cats like they'll catch a mouse and then they'll put it somewhere where you'll see it. Like that's their gift to you.
Yeah, I've noticed
They're
they do that. Yeah. So what's the reasoning behind that? Is there like a there's like a yeah?
I
Is that
think
why
it's
they do
because
it?
like you're their god, and then they're paying homage. They're just like, here you
Thanks for
go,
feeding
my
me,
god.
and thanks for
You
giving me a
you
place to
you
sleep.
cleaned out my litter box again, so in return, I will give you this rat to show you I'm doing my part. So it's
Okay,
just a
okay,
sacrifice.
okay.
Yeah. And so anyway, so one day we come home, dude. I mean, and like we see this dead animal, and it's huge,
Yeah.
huge. I thought it was a rabbit, but no, man, our cat just like grappled with a pack rat, and a pack rat is just like as big as a rabbit. And I'm like, this thing is like, 2/3 the size of our cat. And our cat took this thing down
Wow.
and put it right in the front of our doorstep and was like, look what I got today. Look what
Damn.
I got today.
Damn. Ah.
Homie's been working.
No, cats are good for that though. One thing for sure that they're really good for is obviously to keep the rodents away, and
Mhm.
for that reason alone, even snakes and stuff like that, they're really good at that, man. So definitely kudos to cats for doing such a good job at doing so. I mean, but I'm not really a cat person. I'm more of a dog lover personally. I mean, yeah, cats are cool. They're
Yeah.
okay, but
Not a fan of cats.
not a
I
fan.
do like their independence. Like,
Definitely for sure.
they'll they're like doing their thing or whatever, and then all of a sudden they'll want attention, they'll come up and love on you or
Yeah.
whatever. But like dogs are just some needy little just buggers. It's
Oh
like
yeah,
having
dude.
an extra kid in the house. Like,
I
God
know,
damn,
right? Literally.
go. you know
For sure, for sure. They are definitely. It was just like another child like you pretty much raised, you know what I'm saying? So yeah,
Yeah.
it's crazy. Did I ever tell you my cat story? I have a cat story, but it's not a I wouldn't say it's a cool one like yours, but I think I might have talked about it a while ago, episodes ago, but I'll say it just because it's one of those things where I'm like, like
Yeah.
oops. So
Okay.
this was when I first started learning how to drive. I got my license. I had my own car. I was driving to school. This was, I think, I want to say ninth or 10th grade. I don't remember. But anyways, I was driving to school. I was late, and I was just kind of like, going super fast, right? And
Mhm.
all I remember was like I felt like a thump, on my inner wheel well. Like I'm like, oh. So I didn't stop because I was already late to school. So I'm on my way to school, whatever. So I get there, whatever, and I come back home and I'm trying to, like, maybe see if I hit something on the way back home. Nothing. I don't see nothing. The next day, dude, somebody said, like, was sad because their cat got ran over, and I'm like, wait a minute. I
You
was like, I was
murked a
like,
cat,
oh my god, dude, I fucking murdered a cat. I felt
dude.
so fucking bad. I stayed so quiet. I didn't say nothing. I was like,
You murderer. Yeah.
but it was like, it did not cross my mind until I put like A, B, and C together. Like, wait a minute. I heard something weird yesterday coming on my way on my way
Dude,
to
too.
school. Yeah, it's like, I think that was me. But the thing is, I didn't see anything on the road. That's what tripped me out. Like, I didn't see nothing. So I don't know. Maybe a vulture came by, or something just came by and picked this carcass up, took it away. Boom, that was that. I don't know. I don't know that. But then again, it's like, how would she know if her cat was gone or whatever? Maybe it never
Yeah.
showed up or something like that. Maybe she hadn't seen it around. But it was like, yeah, all right, Peter, that cat.
Was
Sorry.
it you that sent me that video? There was like a big, like, I don't know if it was a bald eagle or a hawk.
Oh,
Was it you that
dude.
sent me that video?
Yes, yes, yes. Let's talk
Dude.
about that. Let's talk about
So
that.
yeah,
Oh.
well, the video, it doesn't show the bird swooping down on it, but all you see is in this video is this bird that had this like little lap dog in
Oh.
his talons, and the dog is just looking around like, how do I get out of this, right? But he was like already helicopter height up in the
Oh
air.
yeah,
Like, this
dude.
dog was done. You just
Dude, gone.
witnessed like his last moments of life before he was
So
before his bird food.
I've heard that before though. True story. I believe where I used to live, there used to be an eagle's nest. I would say a couple miles away, kind of by the river, by these what they are like electrical poles, whatever.
Yeah.
And I heard some of the locals saying that like they went up there to kind of I want to say it's one of those people that kind of like look after the animals and all that, or even eagles in particular. But they were like cleaning out its nest, and they found a bunch of dog collars. Dude,
Yeah,
I
dude.
was like, and I'm like, they're really like, they really go for anything. I did see a video a while ago too. It was a huge bird. I don't know what bird it was specifically, but it was picking up a fucking kid, dude. A fucking kid. I'm like, what? And then the
Yeah.
dad, I think in the video, started running off and started throwing rocks at it. And initially, like, it was like trying to pick the kid up, and then it just I think it realized they couldn't pick it up, and it just started flying away. But dude, they're savages, man. I'm telling you, they
So,
will try to take anything,
yeah, no,
whatever it was. I
they'll
mean,
do it. And so, I'm thinking of these scientists that are trying to use the woolly mammoth DNA to recreate a woolly mammoth.
yep.
And
Mhm.
so I'm like, oh, what's next? A pterodactyl? And now they're like
Oh,
taking
dude.
full-grown humans.
Oh. Hence
Jeez.
Jurassic Park, dude. I know, man. I know. I wonder what the need for that is though. Like, you were talking about like bringing back the mammoth. Like, is it just for like just to study it, or do they just want to see how big this thing was in real life? I mean, is it just a curiosity to see if they can even do it so they can do it to other animals? I mean, dude, at that point, it's like, my theory is, if it's lived as it's certain, if it lived its certain lifespan to be on this planet for X
Yeah.
amount of years, and it just went extinct, I mean, we should leave it at that. I mean, there's a reason why they went extinct, I'm sure, but like, to bring them back and say like, hey, let's bring the mammoths back, or hey, let's bring the dinosaurs back, hey, let's bring a freaking T-Rex back. I mean, do we really want to do that? I mean, I don't know.
Yeah.
It'd be cool to see one. Don't get me wrong. I'm a fan of Jurassic Park, but I don't
Well,
know, man.
yeah, I think they're just flexing. I just think they're just like, yeah, watch this, bro. It's like they put the cheat code in
Like,
and they're like,
want to see something
like,
cool?
remember this from the old Ice Age? Yo, check it. You used to uh be able to only watch these woolly mammoths on Ice Age on
Oh,
Disney, bro.
dude. So check
No,
this
we're gonna
out.
bring you the real deal. We're gonna put it on National Geographic next, bro. So they're just flexing on us. But like, they're also talking about bringing back like animals that have been extinct in modern era, like the Tasmanian devil.
Mm.
I think the last known picture of one alive was like in the 1920s.
Oh, really?
And so they're talking about
Hmm.
bringing one of those back to life, and I'm like, wow. So if it's something from our era, I'm cool with that. You want to flex on that? That's cool.
The rhino, the white rhino. I think they said
White
that was the
rhino,
last
you
one, right?
gotta bring the
Oh,
white rhino. I
dude,
mean,
we
there's
have
only
to. We
one
have to.
left. You're
Oh
looking
yeah,
at him.
yeah. Yeah, we got this last one right here. He's still live and
Yeah.
kicking. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, yeah, we definitely, yeah, man. I'm sure that there's a bunch of animals too that I mean we definitely need to bring back. I mean, like I said, the rhino is one. I know there's a few other ones that I was looking at of the. I think one of the ones that is close to extinction too are like the. I want to say like the tigers. Those what tiger is it specifically? But it's one of those, like one of the big cats, right? That's on the verge of extinction. But I mean, there's a lot of them too that they're saying they're close to being extinct. And I mean,
Yeah.
if once they're gone, they're gone. It's like, damn, that's pretty ruthless.
I
You know what
love
I'm
that humans get blamed for it.
saying?
Like, like just because we have cars that drive, they're like, "Oh, that must be the reason why these animals are going extinct." Like,
Right.
dude, you use your brain and look at history, and were the cars the thing that killed the dinosaurs and all these other animals that went extinct during the ice age, during the natural climate change that occurs with the earth? It's the biggest ploy for getting money and controlling people. Just like gaslight you and guilt you into feeling bad for getting into your, big souped up Dodge diesel V12 truck, and just blowing smoke all through the town. Like that's gonna hurt the climate.
Dude, I know, right? It's like, yeah, it's just for me driving to work every morning to support my family is killing off X animal, whatever out there somewhere. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
It's like,
But
make
but
me feel bad even
meanwhile,
more.
meanwhile, we're giving Ukraine all these tanks and all these other things that are just billowing smoke every time you drive it, let alone shoot it.
Right.
This big old catastrophic, like big old fireball of a missile,
It's like,
but
dang,
that's doing nothing to the
nothing,
climate change.
right?
It's
That
you and your Ford
contributes nothing.
Fiesta that's messing this up.
That
Get
Ford
out of your
Fiesta.
Ford Fiestas, people. Get on
Oh
public
shit.
transit. You
So
know.
actually, one thing I did want to bring up, I did send you this via the interwebs. Did you see the latest video of these ducks circling this car? I sent it to you. I don't know if you saw
No,
it.
I didn't see that.
Oh my God. I was like, oh my God, it's
No
happening.
way.
It's I swear. I sent it to you. I don't know if it was via signal that I sent it to you over or maybe in a DM, but yes,
Okay.
there's a video of this car that's like parked over this on this street. And these ducks come out, dude, and they're all just circling this car, circling it. And I'm like,
Wow.
holy shit, dude.
Well,
Maybe it
really,
has to do with the inner core going what is it? It's going backwards, right? Or spinning backwards and all that.
yeah, yeah,
Oh, dude, crazy, crazy.
man.
So
So
what's
what?
the theory behind that? Like what could be the big, I guess you can say, threat to this planet for that spinning, vice versa? Like has that happened before, or
So
what could it cause? I'm just kind of curious to know on that.
yeah,
You
kind of
know,
what they're saying is that it could, and this is all speculation, right? It's definitely not the same scientists that are making these speculations that are working on the scientists with rats doing coke.
different
Definitely a
side,
different group.
different group, yeah.
But what the theorizing is that it could be like our poles, our magnetic poles are getting ready to shift, which some scientists are saying could happen during our lifetime. And if that happens, people like you and I aren't going to like, other than our cell phones are going to go cattywampus, they're going to get all weird for a
Yeah.
while. But like for animals, they're going to be all confused. But they're saying that could happen, and the thing that changes the magnetic polarity is earthquakes. And so the
Oh.
earthquakes that are happening all around are moving our continents, just moving the land, and so that land movement is causing the magnetic poles to change location because it's like
Mm.
balanced out on Earth. So as Earth continues to move around, the magnetic poles are like, yeah, we got to move around too, bro. So,
Interesting. Okay.
yep.
So, I mean, if that's the case, then I mean, on a serious note, that's probably what caused the. I mean, I'm just saying, right? That it lines up in what caused the could potentially be a cause of the earthquake that happened in Turkey, right? I mean, dude, that was it Turkey that it happened at? I just want to make sure I get
Yeah,
that correct.
yeah.
Okay, but dude, it's pretty devastating, man. They're saying they're saying it's up to like 20,000 people already now, like
21,000 was the last
21,
number I
dude,
saw. So,
insane, man.
if this number, I mean, because I remember you telling me at first, yeah, 2,500, and I'm like, no,
Yeah,
I saw 3,100 or
yeah.
3,300 or something.
Hmm.
And then all of a sudden, the next time I looked at it, it was up to the latest number, which is whatever I just said. Well, 30, 31,
Yeah,
21,000,
31.
right?
Yeah,
21,000. So it's like, holy smokes, like, when is this going to end? But I mean,
yeah,
it was huge. It was
big time.
catastrophic. But you're right. I mean, that's what we're gonna see. This world is so volatile, and it's maybe it's because there's too many Ford Fiestas on the road that are causing climate
I
change.
mean, no, man. I mean, dude, or too many farting cows, you name it. It's all contributing to just Mother Earth retaliating, saying enough's enough. I had enough of you humans walking all over me, disrespecting me, all this other stuff, But it's crazy, man. It's crazy. And to think to even like, I think the last time we ever even witnessed an earthquake around where we live, I don't want to say it was like a few years back. It was like early morning. I forgot. It was a couple years ago, and it happened for probably a brief like 10 seconds, 5 seconds, but
Mhm.
I mean, dude, that was for me. That's like the first one I ever experienced personally. But I know
Me
there was
too.
another one like years ago, like in 2002, 2003. I remember, but I was living in Eastern Washington. I never felt it.
Yeah.
But this one, dude, it just felt like a huge train was coming our way, and it was just shaking everything. I'm like,
It was the weirdest.
dude, it freaked me out. I jumped
Yep.
out of bed and I was like looking
Yeah.
around. I could see like all my figurines, my Funko Pops were just shaking. I'm like, no, my Funko Pops. But it's like I
Yeah.
should be worried about my life. Like, oh no,
That's so funny. Man, well, at
Oh,
least you have
dude.
your priorities straight. I know I was laying in bed. It was like, in the morning sometime, and my oldest daughter was over,
Mm-hmm.
and all of a sudden there was this earthquake, right? And it just this rumble, and it was the
Yeah,
weirdest sensation. I'm
dude,
like, oh
weirdest.
my God. And I just knew instantly. My instincts told me instantly that's an earthquake. You just
Yeah.
went through your first earthquake. So I popped my cherry on that day, and it was wild. I'm
Achievement
like,
unlocked.
yeah. So then I'm just looking around, my house for like cracks in the wall, and on the ceiling, and
Hmm.
yeah, it didn't do anything, but because my house was made by some top G's.
Oh, dude, I know, right? Oh, dude, I know that
but
was crazy though. That's
but
crazy
the thing
itself.
that about this earthquake that happened in, you said Turkey, right?
Yeah.
And it is like they're saying that it happened in like rebel controlled areas,
Hmm.
which makes the tragedy even worse because now all these people that want to come in and help these
Hmm.
people and give them, like, bring in the material that we need, like
Give them aid and all
backhoes,
that. Hmm.
construction equipment, and then medical aid, food, water, all, medicine, first aid. You have to go through like these terrorists to do it, and a
Yeah.
lot of, it's just like it's not going to happen. And so a lot of the people's fate is because they're in these rebel controlled areas.
Yeah.
So
Tragedy, man.
it's
Tragic.
terrible, man. I
Definitely.
mean,
I feel for anybody that's lost, somebody that they knew, family members, you name it. It's definitely tragic, dude. I mean, if we've heard a lot of them, like even like I think in California, they've been getting quite a bit of earthquakes too, as well in the past few years. I'm like, dang, man, I don't know what's going on, but there's something going on. And there's also that one, I forgot. I have to look up the dates just because that way I want to give like a good factual statement in regards to this. But there's in Mexico, there's an earthquake that's happened 3 years back to back on the same day every other year, like on the same
wow.
time. Crazy.
Whose birthday is that?
I know, right? They're partying up way too hard, dude. They're partying up way too hard over down in MX.
Yeah.
Let me see if I can look it up. Earthquake
Oh,
happens
the old red, white, and
same.
green.
Okay, so here we go. Okay. Alarms of a new quake came less than an hour after quake alarms rabbled in the nationwide earthquakes simulation, marking major daily quakes that stuck in the same day in 1985 and in 2017. No, that's not the one. Diversity too much training. No, that's not the same one. No, I'm trying to. It was one. I swear, it was like it happened on the same day and time. I want to say even the time, dude. 3 years
Wow.
back to back, and it just happened, like just coincidentally. I'm like, dude,
Yeah.
there's no way that's just a fucking coincidence. Dude, there's
Yeah,
no way.
that's not a glitch in the matrix.
Oh, dude, right. Okay, right here. Earthquake in Mexico is a third to happen on the same day. It seems like a curse. And Mexico City was hit with a major 7.6 magnitude earthquake on Monday. This article was posted on last year, September 20th, last year, 2022. The earthquake came the same day of the two previous tremors that had hit the city, one in 1985 and another in 2017. It seems like a curse. Isa Montes, a 34-year-old resident of city's central Roma neighborhood, told Reuters Ernesto Lanzetta, a business owner at the owner of a borough of the city, telling the outlet it's the day that something about the 19th. The 19th is day to be feared. Photos of devastation show buildings collapse and streets closed off. Areas of the city also experienced power outages while several hospitals experienced damages. Authorities have not released the names of victims, but said both died in the Pacific part of Manzanillo. According to the Reuters, one of the deceased was crushed when a department store fell on top of them, while another was discovered at the mall where the roof collapsed into the first floor gym. So yeah, so the 19th, so 1985, 2017. But this one's saying, yeah. So that's what I'm saying. It
So the
happened on the
19th of
same
what month?
1985 and in 2017. I didn't say what month, but it was on the 19th of that specific month.
Oh, okay.
So it's like
Well,
it just happened. Like,
I mean, it might be good for those people in that area to know what month, because then they
right,
can just like kind of, on
get
the
ready.
18th, like, hey, we're going bye. We're gonna be gone for a week.
No, dude, but that's the type of stuff that's like it really rattles my mind because that's like I don't know, man. It just seems I've never heard of that anywhere else in the world. I never heard of an earthquake happening on the same date of the same month,
Yeah.
on certain years. So I don't know, man.
Do you know anything about this story? I didn't get past the headline, so I'm hoping you know more about it.
Okay,
But about
sure.
this dad who paid $80,000 to become a genderless dragon, and the quote is, "Now my son won't talk to me." Do you know anything about that?
I've heard vaguely about it. I don't know. Again, I don't know if this story was true or whatever, but I mean, do you have something on it? I mean, do you want to bring it to the forefront and
I
dissect it a
don't
little
have
bit?
anything more than a headline from Vlad TV. Um,
No, I don't know too much about it. I don't. I've heard the title sounds familiar, but I don't know too much details about it. So you could go
okay.
into it.
Well, I'll see if I can find something. It says post in
Oh
bio.
man, I
How do you
swear
go to
it's
someone's bio?
every other week. It's something new. It's something just interesting, crazy, you name it. And that's what makes the podcast good, though. I mean, that's literally what we can bring here, share with you lovely folks, get the mind spinning, whether it could be from tech, cryptids, you name it, everyday events. It's like we'd like to bring it here and just kind of share with the lovely people that watch our podcast and listen to our podcast. So again, just want to say a huge shout out to everybody that's taking the time out of the day to tune into Beyond Expectation. We appreciate every single one of you. It's been quite a journey. This one's going to be episode 121. It's just crazy to think we're 100 plus episodes in with me and my boy here. It's been quite a journey, and we're going to keep on pushing. We're going to keep on going, and yeah, let us know. I mean, shit. What do you guys think about this lovely virtual studio that Brett put together with his own two bare hands? I mean, dude, we're no longer doing the whole normal Zoom calls anymore. We're actually in a studio. I mean, look at it. You see it.
Yeah, that's
Beautiful,
that's real.
beautiful little desk we have here. Wood grain. He made it himself. And beautiful blue
My own
painted
two
brick.
hands.
His own brick wall right here that he painted blue. Blue as the lovely sky in my pit vibes. It's beautiful. It's a beautiful thing.
I'm sorry, but Vlad TV's. I'm gonna have to look it up on the internet.
Okay.
That's the
So
the interwebs. Genderless dragon, right?
yeah,
Genderless
genderless
dragon.
dragon.
Sun won't. Genderless dragon. Sun won't talk to me. Yeah, here we
So
go.
there's a video that I saw earlier today. We're talking about gender and all that, and I'm not going to get into much into that whole topic of just gender and whatever
Well,
you
yeah,
want to
everybody's
be
got
in
their
life.
choices. It's a
Yeah,
beautiful
everybody's got their
country,
choices,
right?
exactly. So,
Yeah.
but this one guy said it perfectly that I feel like it's going to come down to this, right? In 200 plus years or 300 plus years, 400 plus years, you name it, an archaeologist is going to dig up one of our bones or bodies, whatever, any human bones left behind wherever dug up, and they're really going to determine it by it's going to be a male or female at the end of the day, and that's the only way they're going to see it. I mean, for as of
I
now, right? I mean, there's
disagree.
really you disagree?
Do you have any idea how woke scientists are going to be back then?
Oh,
They're
you're
going to
right,
say,
you're right.
we
True,
got
true,
these
true.
bones, but we don't know the gender.
Okay, okay.
In 1954, we could have easily told you it was a male or female. However,
However,
in
the game has changed.
2064
Okay,
or
okay.
2100, 2264, hard to tell. Hard to tell. Yeah.
Might be
And
dragon, might be I don't know,
yeah, but I
whatever
do.
else.
Okay, so I'm at the New York Post,
Okay,
and
sure.
So here we go. A former banker who covered their body in tattoos and piercings in a bid to become the world's first genderless dragon is
Hmm.
speaking out about the dramatic body transformation.
Okay.
Tiamat Legion Medusa, 61, who hails from Texas, yeah, Lone Star State, baby,
Shout out to the people from Texas.
has spent the past decade undergoing an epic metamorphosis into the mythical monster. In an interview with YouTuber Anthony Padilla, just kidding, Padilla, Medusa, who was born Richard Hernandez and now uses they them pronouns, explained they were working as a high-flying financier before deciding they could no longer partake in corporate conformity. I
Mm.
feel it. Um, I was in my late 40s prior to me living my life as the freak that I am. I already had 79 piercings, and most of them were hidden. Ooh, do say.
Do say.
Who goes? Okay, so the ones that weren't, I could take out every day and put them back in, which is what I used to do. And they show this hot picture of him just shirtless, and you know, I can't really,
Vogue status. I
yeah,
can't
but
really
just
see it. Yeah.
go to New York Post for all the goods. And then, however, Medusa had long dreamed of adding more prominent piercings and tattoos, which weren't appropriate for the world of finance. So they subsequently quit their career and embarked on pursuing their dragon dream. In the years since, Medusa has tattooed their face, split their tongue, and even added $80,000 horn implants on their forehead as part of the transformation. And the pictures, you got to go to New York Post to check these pictures out. They are hot. But
$80,000
it
well spent,
hasn't
my friend.
always, yeah, but it always hasn't been smooth sailing since the entertainer admitted they are estranged from their adult son who doesn't understand the extreme makeover. Maybe we need to do a bring them together session on the Beyond Expectation podcast. We could do this.
Like, what is it? What do they call those? Like an intervention type deal?
No, intervention is when you sit the dragon down and say, homie, you got a
Yeah.
problem.
Okay. Okay.
Um,
Fair enough.
The relationship or the connection with my son has changed, the tattooed Texan confessed. At the time when I started my transformation, my son had already turned 16, and he rejected me at that point in my life. Are we trying to guilt trip his son for making his own decision?
It sounds like it,
Jeez.
man.
All right. My son hasn't been in my life for 7 years. I'm hoping that he is at least watching me on the internet because the reason. What a narcissist. Oh my God. I hate this guy this day already. Watching me on the internet because the reason I'm out there in such a big way is for him, they somberly added. Meanwhile, Medusa is on a mission to prove that you can be both successful and forge an unconventional path at the same time and encourage all people stuck in corporate careers to pursue their authentic truth. Because my truth is different from your truth. It's incredible to hear and see people who don't know me to automatically assume that I'm a loser. I've never accomplished anything in my life, or I'm ignorant and probably don't graduate from high school, they declared. And that's the end of the article. Wow. So he's all like bent out of, they are all bent out of shape because their son won't talk to him.
Hey,
Because
man.
their son made it. Like, that's a guilt trip. That's a guilt trip. That's like my estranged family trying to come at me, trying to hate on my success. Like, dude, don't you see the red jacket? Don't you see the bandana?
The vibes?
Don't you see the gold? Homie. Yeah. You still live in a dumpster and I'm living the high life.
Right.
You
need the SIG to complete the ensemble, of course, too.
Yeah. Don't hate the player, hate the game. Hey, props to the son for making that decision. Sometimes parents can be toxic.
Yeah.
And I'm sorry, but your former dad, whatever, is extremely toxic.
Yeah. Do what you want in life,
Props to the son. Your son, you made a good decision. You're gonna be 10 times more successful, but you will need some counseling, homie. If you need some, hit my DM. I got a good counselor.
I'll hook you up. Yeah.
Yeah, I'll hook you up.
At the end of the day, people will do what they want to do in life, and that's what it is, man. You really
you
can't.
Gotta understand there's gonna be consequences, right? For if you make a decision. I mean, you as a father, me as a father,
Yes, sir.
if we go out and make any decision we make, right, we have to make sure that ones we love, we understand where they're going to be at.
Exactly.
And then you have to be ready for if they are not ready for that. Not guilt trip them into it, you
Yeah.
know? This is I don't know. I mean, whatever. Hopefully one day they can all get together and, tell fairies tale. What if he told dragon stories when he was a kid and then the kid is just now traumatized by dragon stories? The kid does not tell dragon stories to his kids.
Maybe. Yeah. Hey, man, you never know. Yeah, you never know. Yeah, I mean, like I said, more of the story. You're gonna do what you want in life. You can't really stop others from, proceeding whatever it is they want to do or go for in their own lane or their own, journeys in life. But it is what it is at the end of the day. You know what I'm saying? They're gonna
Oh
leave. They're
yeah.
gonna leave the nest, and that's what it is. So
Yeah. Dragons gonna be dragons.
exactly. Dragons are going to be dragons, baby. Aside from that, no, brother. I mean, I feel like we can land this puppy down and wrap this one up. Unless you got
I think
something else you
so.
definitely want to bring to the forefront. But I feel in this episode, it was. I don't want to say it, you really took me for a doozy on just a few of the things that I want to say we talked about, but some of the things in regards to just the cool scientists that had to do with obviously letting these rats listen to jazz while they're heavily on coke. I found it really amusing. That itself, I was like, wow, it's mind blowing that we're actually spending funds wherever this money's coming from to do just that. Like shit, next time
Yeah.
invite me. I want to go check it out with my own two eyes and see what happens with that. So definitely invite the Be Honest Mission podcast. We'll vlog the whole thing and we'll fucking go live on that shit. We'll
100%. I want a scientist in here to tell us about the effects that cocaine has on a rat with jazz music. I
there
want to
we
know.
go.
So spell it out for me. Explain it to me like I'm 5 for the beautiful
Exactly,
audience, of course.
exactly. So, with that being said, people, go check us out wherever you stream your favorite podcast. Make it easy for yourself. If you're not following us on Instagram, definitely follow us on that. Be Honest Petition Podcast on Instagram. You'll have a direct link in our bio that'll take you everywhere we're available. YouTube, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, 2FM Radio, you name it, we're everywhere. But till then, we'll catch you in the next one. Take care, stay safe out there. And as always, we'll catch you in the next one, people. We love you. Take care. Peace.